Hey friends, Sean from Draft Therapy here, and on today's review for you, a secret sour awaits. Sour Parade is a 7% sour ale from Shorts Brewing Company in Elk Rapids, Michigan. Sour Parade isn't a beer you're probably going to see hanging out on a shelf all alone by its lonesome, and that's because it's part of Shorts' 17th anniversary party pack. You'll also find Anni Ale 17, Locals Light Mustard, and a Soft Jam Parade in that same party pack. So if you're interested in hearing about Anni Ale 17, let me know in the comments, and I think we can make that happen. I know a guy. Also, big shout out to my brother-in-law Fred for picking this one up for me. So let's take a look at the label. We'll get it into a glass, but first I'd like to thank my executive producers, Eric Latowski, Brian Kramer, and David Jeffries for helping to bring this review to you today. If you'd like to become a producer, help out the channel, or maybe even just buy me a beer, take a look at my Patreon at patreon.com/draft_therapy, where you can get early access to these videos, exclusive members-only live streams, and a few other special perks available only to patrons. Time to take a breath. Let's take a look at the label. All right, so this just has a black cap on the top, nothing super special, it's just a black cap. On the front, it says Shorts Brew, and it has the lady laying back in the lawn chair like you usually find on a soft parade. She has a little Huma inflatable can kind of floating behind her. There's some aliens here in front of some kegs or something. We got a Bigfoot pulling the little Huma balloon. We've got it's kind of a play. It's the front of the Shorts kind of brewing building, and it has just a bunch of, you know, like sandcastles. It's not sandcastles, but a sandbox, all this crazy stuff. On the bottom it says Sour Parade, American Sour Ale with strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, and raspberries. This is 1 pint and 6 fluid ounces, or you might know it as 22 fluid ounces. If we turn it around, it just says brewed and bottled by Shorts Brewing Company in Bellaire, Michigan. So this one's in Bellaire. The other ones are sometimes Elk Rapids, Bellaire. Sometimes I think because this is the anniversary ale, it is going to say Bellaire because that's where the pub is located. So anyways, we're going to crack this open, put a nose on it. I'm going to use my Wax Wings glass here. Let's go ahead and crack this and put a nose on it like I just said. Set that to the side. Let's put a nose on it. Smells sour. It's oh wow, smells sour. It definitely smells sour, but you can smell there's quite a bit of a berry aroma coming up as well. I want to say strawberry is kind of like the predominant berry flavor that's coming out of this. Let's go ahead and pour it. Coming out a light pink, very light pink, like almost a rosé kind of pink color coming out of the bottle. Letting it collect in the glass here. Gonna let it go up. We got about, I'm gonna say about 2.5 fingers of head, being kind of on the generous side. Maybe it's more like 2 fingers of head. The head is a little bit off-white. It's kind of shading towards a bit of a pink. It's white. It's almost white, but it's just, like I said, shading a little bit towards a pink. I think that's from the color of the beer coming up. Let's go ahead and hold it up to the light here. Very, to you, it looks a little bit more red. To me, it looks a little bit more pink. I have the light shining through it, so I have that benefit. You just have the light shining on it. So it looks a little bit more like a ruby red to you guys, but to me, it looks a little bit more of a, it's a dark pink. It's not quite red, but it's not quite light pink. So let's put I'm going to pour a little bit more in here because that head died down. Not a whole lot, but I was getting a little, you know, not going to lie, getting a little nervous about the pour there. So let's put a nose on the glass. Yeah, getting quite a nice sour aroma, but it's not super, it doesn't smell super sour. Sometimes when you get a sour ale, you know it when you smell it, right? Because it can be very just whoosh, like big time sour. But getting a bit of a berry here too. So I'm ready to try it out. It's been smelling about it and talking about it long enough. Cheers. Okay, as you would expect, mouthfeel, that's what we're going to talk about first. Mouthfeel's very light, very crisp, very refreshing, very much a kind of a thirst quencher kind of beer. The finish is a little bit, it starts to kind of dry out a little bit. So let's take another drink. We'll talk about the flavors. We'll talk about what's kind of coming through, what's not coming through, what the label says, what I taste and what I don't taste. So let's do it again. I'm not going to say cheers. I'm going to say cheers. Let's do it again. So it definitely leans more, it definitely, the flavor definitely leans on the sour part of the beer. What I do taste berry-wise, I do taste a bit of a strawberry. There's a nice kind of strawberry quality that comes through. The taste isn't, it's 7%, so it's not, you know, it's not a super light beer, it's not a super heavy beer, but it's just kind of like right in the middle. And I would expect from a 7% beer like this, a sour ale, that I would get more of just something. It's a light kind of sour flavor that comes through. It's that kind of acidic sour flavor that you would expect. It's not like a kettle sour, so it's not that kind of sweeter end of sour, but it's definitely sour. But the berry flavors that I get that are coming through are more of on the strawberry end, maybe a little bit of raspberry. It has those kind of strawberry and raspberry flavors. Now, if I remember what I just read correctly, if I remember that, if it's true to recollection, it said strawberry, raspberry, I want to say it said blackberry, and maybe there was another berry. What was it? Strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries. What I get a lot of is I get strawberries, I get raspberries. I'm not so much getting blueberries or blackberries. Now, I know you're kind of splitting hairs with all the different berries, but it doesn't have like that mixed berry kind of overall flavor. It's more strawberry, it's more raspberry, but the other kind of berries, not so much. Like I said, if it's sour, but it's not like super puckery sour. It's fruity, but it's not overly fruity. So I would kind of, I know that Soft Parade itself is a little bit of a lighter beer. It has a little bit of a lighter flavor. I know they've made shandies out of it. They've done all sorts of different things that you can think of with a lighter beer like that. And it's not a super heavy beer. But I would expect that with this being part of that anniversary pack, that maybe it would have been a little bit more above and beyond. It has a nice sour flavor. It's not too sour. It doesn't totally lean on that sour flavor. It's not like some 300-pound dude like laying on you during a boxing match and wearing you out with all that sour, but it almost might be nice to have that kind of just wear you out kind of sour flavor on something that's, you know, it's their 17th anniversary. It only comes around once every 17 years, and only that 17 years, because the next time it'll be 34, if you follow that logic. So I would just like to see maybe more on the sour end, a little bit heavier on the sour. It is balanced, I guess. You know, you get that sourness, you get those kind of fruity flavors. Maybe if you would have went a little bit too sour on this, it may have just totally blown out the kind of balance that's there. But with it being 7%, I feel like some part of it could have been maybe a little bit more amped up. Maybe what I would have liked to have seen, because I'm not like a super kind of sour connoisseur, what I would have liked to have seen is a little bit more of the berry flavor. And the sourness could have just stayed where it is, but just a little bit more of a heavier hand on the fruits. Like I said, I get a lot of strawberry, I get a lot of raspberry, but I would have liked to have gotten, you know, the whole gamut. It doesn't have that mixed berry flavor, so you know, you're actually able to separate some of those fruit flavors between the two, but I would just would have liked to have seen a little bit more just kind of overall fruit sweetness to go along with the sour. I think that would have really put it over the top. But if you're a big sour fan, you might really love this. But for me, again, I would have liked to have seen just a little bit more sweetness on top of all that sour. All right, friends, that has been Short's Sour Parade. Have you had this beer? Did you have the Anni Ale 17, maybe the mustard or the jam? If so, what do you think? Do you want to see an Anni 17 review? Let me know in the comments below. And while you're down there, if you like beer, you might want to subscribe and click that bell, because I'm here talking about beer twice a week, mostly Michigan beer, Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's all for free for viewers just like you, and you might miss your newest favorite if you're not subscribed and getting those notifications. So until next time, I'm Sean from Draft Therapy. Thanks for stopping by. Remember, drink craft beer, support your local breweries wherever they are, and most importantly, don't forget to treat yourself to a little draft therapy. Thanks for watching, thanks for stopping by, and see you next time. Cheers.